what we're going to go ahead and do now, we're going to get into facts and opinions. We're going to go ahead and talk about the budget deal.
Man, the budget plan.
Trump basically surrendered to the administrative state. He signed after Congress voted to reopen the government. Basically, it's a
Did you tell them the government shut down for a couple hours that day too?
Nah.
It did that day. They actually shut down for a little while because they couldn't come to an agreement, and they were like, fuck it, and they shut down, and then the Democrats were just like, fine. You know what I mean? Like, it was only a minute, but it did shut down for a little while.
Right. But it's why that they think they can just do that at a whim. Like, oh, we ain't together? All right, boom. Like, hit like a light switch.
Well, because it's like threatening. It's like your kids, right?
Yeah,
they like, oh, I'm gonna throw a tantrum if you don't give me what I want.
And I told y'all before in a previous episode, like, the system basically, it's a system of taxes, regulations, and trade pacts, which ultimately affects the economic growth. So it's the government shutting down is a big deal. I also said another thing that they were supposed to be addressing the immigration. They did not.
They didn't.
The
I wish they was gonna address reparations, but they haven't addressed that yet either.
But
so
the spending cap is at $300 billion.
Okay, they took away $128 billion from like domestic issues, and they raised it by $160 billion. So now we're at $300 billion. But these are the people that mostly ran all of their campaigns about bringing the spending down. Clearly, they don't care about spending. They care about spending when they got to spend it on you. You know what I mean? They care about spending when they got to spend it on black, brown people and people that weren't born here. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to spending on, most of the money went toward military spending.
Exactly, right.
And nuclear weapons. So now it's like, that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, are they planning a war? Well, obviously, based on all the stuff that's been going on, they don't care about war. But that's where most of the money that they got approved went towards war. It went toward defense. It went toward nuclear weapons. It went toward, what is this they call? They call the non-defense discretionary spending. So that's public education, veteran care, the environmental protection.
Basically,
agency.
Domestic priorities. That's
domestic
basically
priorities.
what it is.
Yeah, public schools and veterans and they all. But one of the things that they did get. Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished. Go ahead.
One of the things that they got, which they needed to get, which was on the line, and at one point had no funding because they couldn't come to an agreement. They're funding CHIP for 10 years. So that's good for people that have CHIP. CHIP is the Children's Health Plan. It's like, they used to call it, didn't it used to be like a part of Medicaid? It was like for low income people that need health insurance, it's called CHIP now. They changed the name. They're increasing relief funding for the states that were affected by natural disaster. So they're getting the $80 billion, like Texas, Puerto Rico, Florida.
I shake my head at that because I feel like that's stuff that they should have been doing. I don't feel like it should have came down to this for them to have been doing stuff like this. Like, this is natural disasters and stuff that we can't help. Like this is a part of us.
What makes that's what they do.
Country.
But this is what they do, right? They say, oh, we don't need the government. Oh, when Obama was president, when all the Republican senators and governors were like, oh, we don't need your money. You know what I mean? But then when the natural disaster came, everyone was running to FEMA. Like, you do need them because you're not paying your insurance. That's what we learned about this Harvey. A lot of people in Texas didn't have insurance. So guess what? You need to go to the government.
But they want to take everybody's money and saying we are the world and shit.
Well, that's what happened. So they also got infrastructure passed, $6 billion. So like places like Georgia that got those wooden covered bridges and all that stuff still. Get that fixed. It doesn't have anything with the Dreamers in it, but like I said, it ain't never had nothing about reparations in it either. So y'all wait. Because we've been waiting and we ain't got no money. And it's just like the way they're doing people now is so jacked up. Like people that weren't born here,
right?
They're trying to send them back on the low too. On the low. And it's just so funny because, whenever it's convenient for them, like his wives and all that, they're all from other countries.
I feel like with the immigrants, my opinion on the immigrants is like they help build a country. They help the economy.
So did we.
Yeah, we
So did
did.
black folks.
We did too. But my point in saying that is like why are you gonna send them back now? I feel like after a certain amount of years, if they've been in the country for a certain amount of years, why are you sending them back? Like if they've
you know what else
contributed
they said?
to the country or contributed to what made our country at this point. Like at this point, to me, everybody in America is an immigrant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not a Native American, you're an immigrant.
Basically.
Like, I mean, that's just what it is. Like, if you're going to send people back, you might as well send everybody.
And now they're starting to say that if you've got any sort of government assistance, and that could mean you sent your kid to kindergarten with that, you know how they give help, the Head Start program. If you are an immigrant, and even if you got any sort of government assistance, then nobody else in your family could come over here. They're trying to do too much, and it's just wrong. So, all right. So another thing that they did, which was good, 3 HBCUs got their debt erased.
And who are those HBCUs?
Xavier, Dillard University, and Southern University at New Orleans, because they borrowed a lot of money after Katrina from the government, and they have not been able to pay them back yet. So a part of the budget plan wipes out their debt.
That should have been that should have been at a default.
Well, no, it wipes out the loans that they got. The school went and got loans from the government to maintain the property after the storm, and they'll never be able to pay them back.
It should have been at a default.
The government, they were in default. They've been in default since 2010, I think, and they have never been able to pay them back. So they cannot. They don't have to pay them anymore. And I think they should put a lot of student loan debt in there. I think they should put a student loan debt, especially from those for-profit colleges like University of Phoenix, how they go around scamming people. It's just like the scams are, stories about scams are just like, I had so many loans from places, I was like, I don't even remember signing up for this loan. Right. You know what I mean? So that's something that Bernie Sanders was running his campaign on, right?
HBCUs should be getting as much recognition as colleges like Texas, Oklahoma, South Carolina, like the big schools. Like, and that's the fucked up part about it, because like
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. To pitch in.
Hey, we just called them to see if you want to donate some money. I don't have it. Why don't you just donate this? And they keep going until they eventually try to get something.
Yeah.
Imagine if they get $1 to everybody.
Yeah. They also a part of the budget was opioid treatment, but they're only getting $6 billion. So I'm gonna put things into perspective. So a part of the old budget, HIV treatment, got $32 billion. So they're saying that $6 billion is not enough for opioid treatment, but it's like the opioids are a part of the pharmaceutical industry. So it seems to me like there should be something else done. Like we can work this out together with the farm companies.
What is enough?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what are they planning on doing, and then I can tell you a price. What is the treatment? What is the treatment? If you tell me what the treatment is, then I can tell you what the price should be. Because right now it just seems like they send people to jail.
I personally feel like they got a cure for some of everything. I just feel like they're not releasing it, because in my mind it still boggles me, and it's not me hating or me feeling some type of way. Magic Johnson had HIV in 1990, 1991. Like, this motherfucker look healthier than the motherfucker.
Well, that's because
like,
he has the money for the treatment, for the good treatment.
There ain't no damn treatment that motherfucking.
I mean, we see like, you know, Dr. Sebi and natural holistic healers, that there are cure for AIDS, and you know, the food, the air, the water, there's stuff in our bodies that are polluting our bodies, and it's making it hard to fight these diseases. And it's like helping to multiply the bad cells in our body. And it's like, okay, I see people get healed from cancer, HIV a few times, and it's because they change the way they live, and they go to a more
Turner treatment.
What is that? Something like that. Something like that, because that's what he's doing. Because that's what they're saying. It's the food, it's the water,
right. I get it.
It's like a lot of stuff. And if you are Magic Johnson, you could afford to go to wherever. You could go to wherever everybody goes to get healed. What's the name? Costa Rica, and get water from the wherever and get healed.
Tahiti. Tahiti, another place.
That's where people go.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Some people go for like medicines and shit.
Yeah, and Mexico.
I don't know about Mexico now. People go there for surgeries and shit. I don't know about.
No, they go to
treatment.
Dominican Republic for surgery in South America.
Cocoa with Kymmy. What's steaming?
So I was going to talk about Matthew Knowles and the whole colorism issue. Have you guys heard what happened with Matthew Knowles?
I heard.